Fiona from Beach Education. I'm delighted to welcome Simon Hurd, the new headmaster of Sherborne Boys.
Hello Fiona. Hi. Thanks for having us here.
Oh,
what an amazing place.
It is a very special place. So we're currently in Bermuda. We've obviously got our British School Education Fair happening this weekend, and I know obviously Sherborne girls and Sherborne boys have been huge supporters of this event, so it's wonderful as new headmaster that you're able to come out and support.
Thank you. It's been fantastic. Obviously only been here about sort of 24 hours or so and heading back later today, but it's wonderful to be out here, and it's always difficult to know, when you see the boys back at the school, where they're from, what that means, the context. So it's really lovely to come out here and meet lots of parents, see where they're from, and to really understand the Bermudan way of life, and therefore maybe how we can support them, how we can look after them better at Sherborne.
And that's really important, and thank you for taking the time to come out. And I know it's been a very busy 24 hours for you so far, and I know we've obviously met a number of current families, so I'm really interested. Obviously there was a drinks event last night, and you got to meet even some former pupils of the school. What makes your understanding of why are families from perhaps Bermuda choosing to send their children to Sherborne girls or Sherborne boys?
Absolutely. It's an interesting one, and I think there are a number of different levels. The first one is, I think that over the years, with your help, we work closely together, we've brought quite a lot of families to Sherborne, and I think there's a little element of self-fulfilling prophecy there, that we, I hope, have done a really good job with those boys and girls, and therefore the parents, this is a small place, really, and therefore everyone's they talk about Sherborne and what that's like. So I think there's an element of that, and I think also just in terms of culturally, I think there's a lot of similarities. Just in terms of location, this is a very beautiful, safe place to grow up and to live and to learn. I think Sherborne is similar. I think there's a bit of life in Sherborne as well, which is really nice, but it's also really safe and really nice for the boys and girls to be a part of that kind of local community. So I think there's quite a few similarities like that.
Absolutely. And obviously you're now coming into your second term as headmaster, obviously settling in and things like that, and obviously you've got new pupils as well that you're welcoming. How is the settling in process going?
It's been nice. It was lovely to have done the summer term. The summer term in any school is fantastic, and Sherborne in particular is just spectacular in terms of the buildings and the activities going on in the summer term. It was nice because I was able to get in and meet everyone and see everything and do everything, which was absolutely fantastic. So therefore, the start of this term with the new boys arriving, I felt like I at least had my feet under the table a little bit. But it's still, I've only been there, as I say, just over a term. But everyone has been really, really friendly. So the whole community at Sherborne, both the boys, girls, and the prep schools as well, all part of that group, and the local area, it's been really lovely for me and for my family, who've now moved down as well to join us. So it's been really nice.
And you mentioned community, and I think actually that's really important that you do. You've touched on that, because you're right, Sherborne, definitely for all the number of times that I visited Sherborne, the community is very much part of the school and vice versa.
It's really, really important to us, and a lot of the locals work in the school as well, so there's a real connection at many different levels between the community, local town, and the school. So that's really important to us, and one of the things we're looking at coming up in the next year or so is getting the pupils, the boys and the girls, out into the community much more to help out, to do things, working for charity, that kind of thing. It's really important to me that they understand that sometimes the school can be a little bit of a an isolated little place, can't it, in terms of maybe inward looking, and it's really important that they look out, that they understand that they have a place in the world, and that feeds into what we want to try and produce, I suppose, or to help develop the characters of our boys and girls to be decent global citizens. Ultimately, that's what we're looking to try and achieve.
Absolutely, and I think Sherborne girls and Sherborne boys, in terms of the boarding element as well, obviously location is stunningly beautiful, but you've also still very much operated as a full boarding school, international pupils from all over the world.
And it works really well, I think, in that respect. On a normal weekend, we'll have somewhere in the region 850 full boarding pupils on the campuses, the girls and the boys together. There's a fantastic socials program, so all different year groups meet up and do different things on the weekend too, which is great. There's lots of connection. That kind of the full boarding element and the co-educational opportunities work really, really well. So they've got CCF that's joined, Duke of Edinburgh, music, drama, the social program that I mentioned. So there are lots and lots of touch points. We've got lots of families with brothers and sisters, so they can meet up, they can go into town and have a coffee. It's a really, really lovely location. the girls' school is only 250 metres
Yeah.
away, so it's really easy to get to.
Yes.
And some of the girls come down to do some lessons at the boys' school at sixth form level. Some of the boys go up to do it at the girls' school. So it's a really it works really well.
And it is really quite unique in terms of what you are offering, because some families, not just in Bermuda, but obviously I work with a lot of families in Bahamas
right,
and
yes,
Barbados, and you've got some pupils from there as well, which is wonderful. But some families might come to me and say, oh no, we're not after an all boys school, or we're not after an all girls school. But I think
Yeah, I mean, we say it's the best of both worlds,
Yeah.
because you've got that single sex classroom kind of education, and built around that you've got so many different opportunities for interaction in the co-educational environment, and that's what's going to prepare them for the future. The world is co-educational. It's really important to us that we develop that. And I think we'll see the sixth form increasingly working together academically to, the advantage of us working in that group with the girls and the boys' school together is we get a much bigger breadth of opportunity with regards to academics than you might get in a standalone school. So it's a really exciting time to be part of the group and part of the schools.
Wonderful. And in terms of what is a typical Sherborne boy, is there one, or
no? Not really. I think that the nice thing that I've discovered at the school is you can be whoever you want to be. So we're not trying to shoehorn them into a particular brand, a particular type. The head of school spoke recently to some prospective parents, and it was great actually. I've stolen his line. He said basically it's not that the boys have to fit to the school fits to the boys, and that's really important to us. That's the emphasis. That whoever you are, whatever your path is, we will help you to be the best version of yourself, give you lots of opportunities, and develop your character. So when you leave, and everyone I speak to says this about Sherborne boys and girls, is that they are just decent human beings. Yes, they're bright, they're capable, they work well in a team. They're just really decent people, and that's really important to us.
And I must say that really resonates with my families in particular, because ultimately they expect the academics to be great, which obviously they are, but they want their children to be happy and to thrive in an environment where they're willing to try new things.
Exactly.
And they might find new talents along the way, and that's the joy of boarding school ultimately. So
I think what we're looking for are young people who are going to have a go, give it a try, say yes when an opportunity comes up, and if they do that, they'll fly, and they will discover new things that they never even knew they had any interest in, and then they excel in those as well. So it's a great opportunity for them, and I think, as you say, the families in Bermuda here and the other countries you talked about, that ethos I think is there, and so the parents I've talked, they're aspirational, they want the best for their children obviously, but they want them to have a go and to take part, and also to be grounded, to be humble, and to understand they have a responsibility to the world.
Absolutely wonderful. And I'm just intrigued, just as a sort of a final question really, when you're not being headmaster, do you have time for anything else? What do you enjoy doing?
Well, I've got a big family, which is lovely, which means that we spend a lot of time together. We like walking and cycling and skiing occasionally when we can, so that's really lovely. I'll go for a run occasionally if I can, but it's taking the opportunities when they arise, but also I love what I do. It's a total privilege running a school, and I love going into work, which is helpful. Not everyone does necessarily, but I'm very fortunate that's the case. So I think being part of a community for us as a family is really important, so we'd love moving to Sherborne and being able to walk into town and meet lots of people and build that community.
Brilliant. Oh, well, thank you so much, Simon, for being here to support
our
fair, and we look forward to welcoming you back very soon.
I look forward to it as well. Thank you very much, Fiona. Thanks.